Hi, I'm Mary Love here with Love the Green Real Estate Consulting Firm, and it is time for our monthly market update. This is a special edition because usually in the spring I give a market report to our local real estate investing group, and due to the coronavirus, we are not going to be meeting this month. So I'm going to do this extended presentation so everyone in Korea can watch this and get the update information that we usually give. And if it's something that you want to do, we could actually do a Zoom webinar if you want to have interaction. Or you can always put some questions in the YouTube video chats area. So one of the things that I chose this background, just so you know, this is the background at our Olivet Farm, our agri-hood, and just wanted to promote hope and let everybody know that things will be okay. Just settle down and take some time to get outside if you can possibly do so and enjoy the beauty of nature this spring. So let's get into the information that we need about our market. Just so you know, when we give a market update, it is the month past, because it takes about a month for all of the data to come in and for us to get our statistical information. So this is March, and we'll be looking at February information. Usually, I like to break down into the Asheville region, which includes all of the surrounding counties. Then we break it into Buncombe County, Henderson County, Asheville City, and Henderson City, just so we can break these things down and get a little more of a view. I'm also this time going to review what last year's March was and make some predictions of where we're going to go in the very near future, or where I think we're going to go anyway. All right, let me see if I can pull this up for you all to see. Well, usually I'm able to pull up so you can look at the chart. Hang on. I'm not seeing that. All right, let's see. I don't know why. Here we go. I'm going to share the chart. There we go. Got it. Took me a minute. All right, so I'm going to have lots of charts and data in the attachment and available. If you want to email me, mary@lovethegreen.org, I can email you all these PDFs for you to peruse over. I'll also put them up on my Facebook page, Love the Green Real Estate Consulting Firm. Okay, so big picture overview, the Asheville region, Buncombe County, Haywood, Hendersonville, Jackson, all of these counties that you can see. So if you look at it, we can see what February 2020 looked like. We always do a review of what February 2019 looked like, and that gives us a year-to-date concept. So Asheville region, just in 1 month, and that includes all of these counties, there were 989 listings. All right, which, interesting, the reason this is important to see where it is in 1 month and a year-to-date out of all of these counties in the listings, that is 2% less than what was listed last year. So that indicates to us that we are still continuing to have a shortage a housing shortage, a listing shortage. There's not enough new houses coming out on the market. And this holds true. The reason we know that is because of our pending and our closed sales. So in February of 2020, we had pending of 999 out of all of this Asheville region, and that is an increase of almost 24% from a year to date, from February 2019 to February 2020. That is a huge amount. Our close were 713 for the month of February, and that was a year-to-date increase of 21%. Again, that is a large increase. Now, there's some other information you're free to look over and see where this is, but here's the thing that's really interesting. Out of all of these counties, our month supply of inventory is only 3.5%. Now, some counties have more. This is a average, and some have less. But to have all of these counties in this Asheville region and really only have a monthly supply inventory of 3.5 months, again, indicates that we are on a significant housing shortage already. That's 34% of a change of minus 34%. Okay. So that's the big picture. Now let's look at, I'm going to jump to Henderson County, since this particular presentation would be what we would be doing at our Henderson County group. For CREA group, I want to get down to it. So Henderson County, the county in 1 month, the new listings had 167 new listings, which was from year to date was a 7.1 reduction. So again, it shows us housing shortage. In Henderson County, our pending sales was 172, which is an increase of almost 16%, and the closings was 121, which was an increase of almost 21%. Now, out of these Henderson County sales, I want to go back to Henderson City just to show you, this is pretty significant, out of how many of the houses that were listed, closed, and sold were actually within the city limits of Hendersonville. So just as a reference to know, we had in the county 167 houses listed in February of 2020, and out of that 167, 110 of them were inside the city limits of Hendersonville. So that's a huge amount. The pending in the county was 172, and 103 were in the city limits. Closings in the county were 127, and 80 were in the city limits. So this indicates, when we look at this type of data, is that the city of Hendersonville is booming right now. Its month supply is 2.6, which is still a shortage, very much a shortage, especially considering how much it is just like going crazy right now. Here's the thing that's interesting though, and just so if you are not an investor and you're thinking about buying in our area, the city of Hendersonville is a great place to buy because the median price right now is $263 and the average is $289. So that is one of the best housing prices in the area of the Asheville region. So a really good deal. If you're an investor, the city of Hendersonville is a good place to invest, make your numbers work right, and then you can turn around and still have some affordable housings to sell, and people will just snatch them up. So that's what we get out of this information. So now let's go to Buncombe County, and then we'll compare that to Asheville City in just a second. So Buncombe County in February 2020 had 376 houses listed. Now, the significant difference between that and the year to date is the fact the year to date, a year ago in February, Buncombe County listed 689. So year to date percentage was 6% less. It's not a 50% less, but that's a significant amount of a reduction. The pending sales increased to 374, which was an increase of 37%. The close is to 290, increase of 17%. So Buncombe County is just continuing. It pretty much, you put it up there, it's selling. Now here's something that people need to know, and we're encountering this in Buncombe County as realtors. We're seeing this when we talk about affordable housing. Here is something that's very important, and this is the county. This is not just the city of Asheville, but the median home price right now is $311,850, and the average sale price is $372. So if you're a first-time homeowner, you need to think about that. To get anything that is in what a lot of first-time homeowners, they have high desires for HGTV type home, perfect, ready to move in and all, and think they can get it at $275. They're not going to get it for that. Okay, that's not the reality. You need to be qualified at least $325 if you want to get that house with everything in it. Otherwise, you need to make some accommodations. Now remember, this is the county. This is not even the city limits. So let's go back and look at the Asheville city limits. Asheville City, let's talk about the mean and average sale price. So in the median sale price in February was $340,000 for the city of Asheville, and the average was $402. So if you're going to go inside the city limits, you need to be looking from mid threes to 400s for just an average home price. All right, something to consider with that. If you're an investor, you're competing in Buncombe County and the city of Asheville. Your numbers are really tough if you're trying to do a flip. However, if you're working for rents, buy and hold, there are some advantages to that. Now remember, everything that we are saying right now, all of this prediction, all of this data, all of this information was done before the coronavirus hit. So just keep that in mind, all right? Okay, so now let's just look at okay, let me find this other just a minute, and I wanted us to look at the rental market. Just a second. I'll find that in just a second. Yeah, the rental report. Okay. I've got it. Roll around with it a little bit. Just taking me a little different here. All right. So the rental market, just so you can look at, this is the Asheville region. Again, this is all of the counties and all the information in it. So this was just the February 2020. The average market was average lease in 2020 was 2,560 for this is for residential properties. So that was a huge increase, an increase of 169%. So, but we only had 45 active rentals that showed up on this one. So this is just across the board. One of the things what that means actually is that you can see these different regions, how this is broke down in the information of what's active, what's property is leased, and the monthly rents. So the monthly rents in Asheville region increased significantly because other counties increased their rent. So that's why it was increased so much. It lets you know that Buncombe County's average rent is $1,899 for a 3-2, and that includes it inside the city. So that's just some information on the average rent. Now, let's look at the weekly, just so you can get to see what it was from last week's report. Okay. I think this is last week's report. Yep. Okay. So this ended March 7th, 2020. All right. So this is last week. A little bit of information starting to come out about the coronavirus. We didn't know how much, though. But look what happened in the Asheville region in just 1 week. The changing in the inventory is still low. All right, we still have it, but our new listings slowed down last week in the entire region. Okay, our pending still increased. So what was out there, people were buying. All right, and just that's what we look at. New listings slowed down a little bit. I think people were just sort of like, what's happening? What's going on? But listings were out there that were pending, closed, and you can go down through here and look at all these other days on the markets for just a week in comparison. All right. So the question is what's going to happen to the market with all of this coronavirus and everything? And the answer is, we don't know. I mean, we haven't had this experience before. We haven't had something that's affected globally everyone at the same time. So here's a couple of things, though, of what we do know about how real estate and the stock market work, just so you have this in mind, is when this crisis first hit, a lot of people that saw it happening pulled their money out of the stock market, and they actually have cash. So those are investors who are experienced between working in the stock market and working in the real estate investing. They are hanging on to their money right now, and then they will be buying when prices drop some in the housing industry. And in our area in Western North Carolina, investors tend to buy during slumps because they know that our area bounces back quicker. So just keep that in mind, that as an investor, you may be competing with some bigger pockets than what you had before. Now, what we do know is this is most certainly with the travel bans, with restaurants being closed, all of that. Airbnb, vacation rentals, they're going to be affected tremendously. I'm sure that some of you are already having cancellations, and that's going to continue until all of the restaurants are opened up again. So we'll just see. A lot of this is, how long does this happen? I don't know. Now, the other thing that we know is that real estate's in cycles. So what goes up will go down. We're going to hit a little down curve. How much? Unknown. Right now, our housing supply is short. So if it is a good house, priced right, it's going to sell. Last week, I put a house on the market. It was in excellent condition, priced it just a little bit below the market average, and we had an offer in less than 48 hours. So what else is going to sell good is multifamily. It's something with that accessory dwelling, something that a duplex, any of those are going to be flying off, I would expect. If you're doing flips and you were thinking about buying, I would say hold and wait. Don't, keep your cash for a little bit. Ride this out and see what happens. But cash is going to be king really soon again. There'll be some good deals in other areas. Buncombe County, Henderson County, they're going to continue to be strong for a while because their inventory is low. People wants to move here, and but here's what I would say: if you're a seller and you get an offer, then take it. Don't be thinking that you can hold this out and get something higher on the other cycle. Just sell it. If you want to sell your house, just go ahead and take your offer. If you're a buyer, don't wait around forever thinking that the market's going to drop here in this area, because it's not going to drop too much anytime soon. And the interest rate is so low that now is the time to do it. Our inventory is low anyway, so my gosh, if you find a house you like, buy it. So that is what's happening right now. I'm going to probably write a blog a little bit about this. If you want me to, I will keep this on a weekly basis, just an update of what's going, especially for our investors. If you have any questions, let me know. This is a little bit different than what we normally do, but I will have all of this information available on my website and on my Facebook page, and then I'll send it out to our CREA group as well. All right, thank you. And for any of your real estate needs, please remember to call Love the Green Real Estate Consulting Firm, 828-279-6723, and visit our website, lovethegreen.org. Thank you. Stay calm, have fun. And I guess our new normal, where we can't hug anymore, is I'm practicing this. So I'm going to practice. If I was seeing you at CREA, this is what I'd be doing right now, is namaste.